Hello everyone, welcome back to Code Compass. In this video, we are going to solve remove duplicates from sorted array, continuing from the Leetcode Top Interview 150 list. So without wasting any time, let's go to the problem statement. So the problem statement says, given an integer array nums sorted in non-decreasing order, remove the duplicates in place such that each unique element appears only once. The relative order of the elements should be kept the same. So basically we are given an array which is sorted in a non-decreasing order, which is basically an ascending order, or there can be some elements of same value consecutive to each other. So consider going further into the example, consider the number of unique elements in numbers to be k. After removing the duplicates, return the number of unique elements. So they want us to do basically two things, not just one. So they want us to remove the duplicates, and additionally in the return type of the method here, if you see, it is int. Basically they want us to return how many unique elements were there in the array. So this will be more clear with an example. So let's look at first example. The input array is 1, 1 and 2. And in the output, they expect us to return 2 because there are two unique elements, which is 1 and 2. And then also the array has also been updated like this. So first element now becomes 1 and the second element becomes 2, which is the second unique element. They don't care what you leave after the unique elements. They are not interested in it, as long as you have moved all the unique elements to the starting of the array and you are returning the correct number, which is the total number of unique elements in the array. But the additional restriction is that the relative order has to be maintained. So you cannot return 2, 1. It must be 1, 2, because in the original array 2 appears after 1. Let's go to the second example. So here we have 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. So clearly total number of unique elements is 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the output will have to be adjusted like 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then similar to example 1, they don't care what you leave after the fifth element, which is 4. Alright, I hope the problem is clear. Let's now go to the intuition for this problem. So for the intuition of this problem, let's try to go through example number 2 and try to see how our thinking should develop. So given this is our array 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 and 4. So let's say I start iterating the array from the very beginning, which is this element. And I am side by side trying to build what my output should look like. So for the time being, just imagine that we are creating the output in a different array. We will extend it to how to do it in the same array itself, because the question has asked us to do it in the same array in place. But for the time being, let's just assume that I am building a new array out of whatever is expected of us. So let's say I start traversing the array from the beginning. I see a 0. I check my output array that I have currently don't have any 0 in my output array. So I put my 0 over here and I move to next index. Now I come to the second element, which is again 0. So if I check my output array, I already have a 0, right? So if I already have a 0 and the problem has asked us that we only want one entry per element. So what I will do, I will simply ignore it and move further. Now I come to 1. I check my output array that I don't have any one element inside this output. So what I will do, I will put this one over here. Then similarly, I will proceed further. But now when I go to the next second one element, then I see that, okay, I already have a 1 in my output array, so I ignore it. Then I go to the next one. Again, I will do the same thing. I see that, okay, 1 is already considered. I will ignore this one also. Then I go to the next element, which is 2. So 2 is not there in the output array currently. So I will put it. Similarly, I will then go to the next element. It is again 2, but 2 is already considered, so this has to be ignored. Then go to the next one, which is 3. 3 is not there in the output array, so 3 will be considered. Similarly, I go to the second 3. 3 is already considered, so this 3 will be ignored. This is ignored. I'm just marking crosses whichever elements we have ignored. Now I go to 4. So 4 is not there in the output array. I will put 4 over here. Then my iteration ends. So ultimately, if you see, the output array has now all the elements in ascending order first of all. So one condition is met. Second condition was that each element must appear only once, which is also met over here. And final condition was, or rather the third requirement was, that we need to return the length of or basically the count of all unique elements in the array, which if you check the length of this array, it is 5. So now our only tricky part left is that we have to do this entire simulation within the same array itself. So let's see how that one will go. Okay, so we start iterating from I is equal to 1, and for each I, what we are going to do, it is very simple. We are going to compare array of I with array of index. Now go back to the original requirement of the problem. See, the requirement was that each element must appear exactly once. So what I'm going to do, I'm comparing this value with the value contained at this index, which is again 0. So if these two are same, I am simply going to move ahead. Otherwise, let's come to the second scenario. When this is these two values are equal, we will simply not do anything. We will continue. But if let's say that these are non-equal, which is actually an interesting part. So how, let's see, at I is equal to 1, we simply moved ahead and we did not do anything. So this was ignored. Now I comes over here at index 2. So now the value at I is equal to 2, which is 1, is not same as 0. So this means this is a new element which we have encountered, and this has to be made part of the output array. So what we are simply going to do, we are going to so basically this is the first part where we will not do anything else. We are simply just going to increment index and set its value to the value contained at ith index. So once we extend this solve this further, you will realize how this array is getting built. So now what will happen, 1 is not equal to 0. So what will happen is, right now our index is at index will be at 1, then we increment it. So now it will become, instead of 0, it becomes 1, and then we set this value, which is currently containing 0, to the value of I. So value of I is 1, so this becomes 1, and this also has incremented. I now went to 2, and after that the pointer moves further, then it comes over here. So now that I becomes 2, now I equal to 2 is holding the value 1, and index, which is at 1, is also holding the value 1. So since these two are equal, we will not do anything. This will be ignored. I will increment to the next pointer, which is again 1. This one will also be ignored. Then I will come over here. So once I becomes to the index number 5, this value is now 2, and currently index is over here, which is 1. So again this condition will be met. Index will be incremented. This becomes 2. So index will go to index number 2, and this 2 will be set to this value. So now if you see, so far these three values 0, 1 and 2, we have started building our solution in the same array itself, and in this similar way we will keep proceeding further. So then I will go to this value 6, index value 6. This 2 is again same as 2, so we will ignore it and then go to the next index. So once you come to 3, 3 is not same as 2. So again this index will be incremented, 2 plus 1, which is 3. So index comes to this value, and this will then instead of 1, this will become 3. So this is now 3. So now you have 0, 1, 2 and 3. And similarly, when you go to the next 3, this will be ignored because 3 is already there. Then you come to 4, and finally 4 is not same as 3. So index will come to this value, and this will be set to 4. So eventually, after you have exhausted everything, your index is holding 4. And so we have already done two parts which were asked of us. We have basically kept only one copy of each element in the array, and then we have shifted them to the front also, but in the end we need to return how many unique elements were there. So that value is contained in index. So index contains the last index. So to calculate the number of elements, we will just return index plus 1. So I hope the intuition is clear. Let's see it happening in code, then it will become even more clear. Alright, so now we have come to the editor. So let's see what we had to do. We will initialize one variable named as index, initialized with 0, and then we will start iterating from first index till, where should we go, till the end of the array, which is nums plus length and I plus plus, and at each I we are simply going to check if nums of I is not equal to nums of index, then we will simply increment index and we will set whatever value is contained at the index I to index, and in the end what will we return? We will return index plus 1. So let's see if this logic works or not. So our base test cases are passing. For 1, 1 and 2 we have correctly returned 1, 2. For the second input example we have correctly returned 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's see if it is passing all the test cases or not. Great, so you can see that all test cases are passing. So I hope you understood the explanation to this problem. We will see you in the next one.